So the current breakaway sessions that we have are WASH and MHM infrastructure in schools, institutions and workplaces. I'd request Mr. Vinod Mishra, Ms. Sumati Joshi, Mrs. Namrata Karamchandani and Ms. Kamakshi Wason along with Mr. M. Elangovan to please join me for the panel. I would once again request all of you to either settle down or proceed to your respective halls. Vinod Mishra, our panel head, is here. Once again, I would request all of you to either be seated or move to your respective halls. या तो आप सब लोग बैठ जाइए या अपने अपने respective halls में चले जाइए जहाँ पर आपका breakaway session, जिस breakaway session को आप attend करना चाहते हैं. The breakaway session is for 30 minutes and it's now over to the panel head.
So good morning everyone. I'm Vinod Mishra. I'm the WASH head in the United Nations Office for Project Services. So I welcome all of you once again in this breakaway session. And this session is very, very interesting because yesterday I mentioned in the plenary session that there is a 3 pillars of MHH is important menstrual health and hygiene. First is about the breaking the silence. How can we be able to break the silence in the community, in the family, at the workplace, in the society at large? And second is the infrastructure and facilities available at a school, institution, workplace, and public places. And third pillar is disposal of the pads, used pad. So these are the 3 main pillars of the menstrual health and hygiene. And today in this breakaway session, we are going to discuss about the infrastructure and facilities, what type of facilities and infrastructure are required for the safe menstrual health and hygiene. If you see in the India, there is a lot of lack of facilities, and if you go in the schools, the toilets are available, and if you enter in the boys' toilet and even the girls' toilet, there is a lack of the running water supply, the availability of the soap, because they need the proper safety, privacy, and hygienic situation in the toilet. Even yesterday, when we went back from this convention, and I'm ready to share what happened in my office in United Nations, where we worked in a 55 law. This state is the topmost office in India of the United Nations, and my colleague Madhuri is sitting here, and one day she needed pad in the daytime, in the office time. And I would like to share very freely and frankly that there was no pad available in any of the toilet of the United Nations office in New Delhi. So if you're talking about the availability of the facilities and the infrastructure in the schools, at the public places and the institution, it's horrible. You will not get anywhere. You will go in the market, you will go in the cinema halls, in any office, and enter in the women toilet, you will not get the proper facility of the washing and even the proper privacy also. It's not available in any schools. So it's a major issue. Without solving this, we cannot solve the situation of the menstrual health and hygiene. And today, I'm glad that we have the very good panel. Namrata? So first I would like to introduce Mrs. Namrata Karamchandani, and she is the co-founder of and director of Anahat Change Foundation. Namrata is a co-founder of Anahat, and which works primarily on menstrual health and hygiene in vulnerable areas of the West Bengal. And she has also a master's degree in the planning as well in the social science. She has spent 7 international papers of the gender and menstrual health and hygiene, which have been published internationally. And currently, she is working on building up sustainable MHM model, which will help to bring a sustainable income to the SHG located in remote corner of the West Bengal. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Namrata. Now the second panelist is Kamakshi, and she is the Chief Operating Officer in Tillotoma Foundation. She served as a Chief Operating Officer of Tillotoma Foundation, and she is an international speaker and practitioner of Track 2 diplomacy. Her research interests include the gender, climate change, Indo-Pacific and Central Asia. She also appeared on national television as an analyst on issues of the foreign policy and strategy. She champions the cause of the young women in areas of the leadership, policy, and the governance. She has a special practical expertise in the cultural diplomacy and international educational cooperation, particularly from the perspective of the non-profit organization and social entrepreneurship. So please welcome Kamakshi. We have the third panelist in this panel is Mr. Elangovan, and he is the executive director of the Gramalaya, and he is the master of the sanitation and very experienced person. Around 26 years he is working on the wash sector in Gramalaya. He is having the wash experience in urban, rural, coastal, and even the river belt areas. So it's a long experience about the wash, and he has attended the many workshop, national, international water sanitation conclave meetings, and he has organized even the many conclave and workshop with the support of the Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation and Ministry of the Urban Development. He is one of the technical committee member of the Gramalaya to study the efficacy of the twin leach pit toilets promoted by the Gramalaya. He is also one of the member in the State Planning Commission of Tamil Nadu. He is an expert in organizing community-led total sanitation (CLTS) and community action for total sanitation implemented in the rural areas. He has presented the role of CFOs and on Washman for sustainability, the best practice of Gramalaya at the national level. First MHH summit in 2019 organized by the Gramalaya in New Delhi. So he is the backbone of the Gramalaya organization, and I'm happy that he is sharing this panel today. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Elangovan. So thank you very much for participating today in this panel. It's a very important discussion going to be happen about the infrastructure on the schools and the workplace, and especially on the institutions. So first, I would like to invite Namrata. Please, if you have, practical experiences, what you have seen in India at different places in school and especially in institutions, and what needs to be done. So that's the important.
Hello everyone, I am Namrata, and thank you for this introduction, sir. We at Anahat have been working in schools for last 4 years. We are based out of West Bengal, and we started with working in government schools. Firstly, our target was spreading awareness regarding menstruation. So when we had started working, we were not having this idea about what will be the impact or what will be the knowledge, attitude, practices recently among the adolescent girls in the government schools of Kolkata. So we had started with the baseline survey, and then we proceeded with the program. So in the baseline survey, results, shocking results had come. Everybody should know that, like, there is 90% unawareness about what is menstruation. They don't know what is menstruation. Teachers do not talk about the topics. It's a generational thing which is told to them from their mothers. The mothers even do not know, and most of them are not prepared before having periods. And During periods, the only option they use is the cloth sanitary napkin, whisper, carefree, whatever is available. So they are not aware of the pads either, about the informed choices, about the type of sustainable methods. So our duty was to make them aware, and interestingly, when we made them aware, we told them about the various choices, they were very happy to see and they were very eager to use reusable cloth pads. I would say, because menstrual cup didn't have that much of a response because of its insertion thing, but reusable cloth pads were very gladly accepted. This is with the school, what we had experienced, school students. Now, if we come to the incinerators and the vending machines which are put in the schools by various companies, most of the time, the girls are not aware that there is a vending machine in their school. It is generally installed inside a teacher's room, and the teachers always say that the girls will break it down. So there is no point of putting it outside. This was one thing. Second thing, the vending machine always runs out. Initially, it was filled up, then it runs out. The incinerator doesn't work. The incinerators have been put in many schools in West Bengal, but that doesn't work, and when it breaks down, nobody cares. Fourth, the most important, the washroom. I would tell you one experience of a school. This is a government school in one of the districts of West Bengal. It's South 24 Parganas. In that school, 1,000 girls used to study. It's a girls' school, government school. And can you guess how many toilets do these 1,000 girls have? Any guesses? One WC. And that too in a condition that you would not even enter, even if it is a dire emergency. You would not. You would go to a field. You will go to the Ganga just beside the school. You will not go to that toilet. So 1,000 girls had one toilet, and there was a teacher's washroom. Teachers had 5 washrooms, all good, cleaned, locked, and a separate condition. So this is the future. Like, this is not the future. This is the condition of the schools. Even sir yesterday had told about SBM++. So many things have been now implemented and done. But the condition of toilets, sir, I'm so sorry. I have been working also in the Murshidabad district of West Bengal. There are also 2 major schools. The toilets you would see, you would never want to go into a toilet of a school. The conditions, they are broken. There is no demarcation between the floor and the pan seat, and the doors. There is no concept as doors. The lights तो आप छोड़ी दीजिए. Walls में there are जो भी लिखावट है बहुत ही गंदा, and the conditions are deplorable. So toilets have been there, but there is no such awareness among the schools. And when we went and we made a pink room and we decided to renovate the toilet, we changed the condition and we installed more toilets. The headmistress said to us that ये लोग तोड़ देंगे, आप लोग बना तो दे रहे हैं, लेकिन सब लड़कियां तोड़ देंगे. So this is the mentality of the headmistress of the school. So हमने जब पूछा आपने यहाँ पे रखा है कोई जो इसको क्लीन करे, तो ही सेड कि फंड नहीं है क्लीन करने के लिए. हम महीने में 1 दिन आता है, वो करके जाता है, बाकी फंड नहीं है. और they have asked the लड़कियाँ, the students to clean the washrooms, but the students do not do that. Students क्या करते हैं, बगल में गंगा है, उन लोग वहाँ चले जाते हैं. So this is the case. Even after SBM has been implemented, it has been ODF++ or whatever, how many plus has been added after ODF, this is the condition in the remotest part of West Bengal, at least the state I come from. I don't know about other states, but this has been. And if I have more time, I would just want to share another experience of a workplace. So in Kolkata, those who are familiar with Kolkata must know Bada Bazaar. Bada Bazaar is a very unique place in Kolkata where all the you could find any garment, anything you want in a wholesale thing. That's a thing. Businessman. There's a place where businessman sits. So 1 month ago, I went there for a purchase, for a bulk purchase, and that also related to a menstrual fabric. I wanted to purchase clothes for we also make reusable cloth pads. So related to that, I visited that place. I was in my periods and I was wearing my cups. And suddenly I realized I am over bleeding. So I saw a toilet like few minutes ago. So I went there and somehow, ignoring the condition, putting my eyes closed, I emptied my cup and again I went back to the market. Again, few minutes later, same thing happened. I was searching for a toilet in that place, and believe me, I was asking the people and nobody was telling me that there है टॉयलेट लेकिन आप नहीं जा पाओगे दीदी, एक है ऐसे कुछ खास हालत में नहीं है. लेकिन मैंने बोला मुझे जाना ही है, कहाँ है. तो बहुत मुश्किल से मुझे एक टॉयलेट मिला जो वाज ऑलमोस्ट ब्रोकन. खिड़की टूट गई है, उसका पैन टूटा हुआ है एंड एवरीथिंग वाज ऑलरेडी ब्रोकन. तो मैं किसी भी तरह उसमें गई एंड आई हैड टू चेंज माई कप. लाइक those who use cup will know how to do that. But imagine if in that toilet sometimes your cup slips. And the condition where we insert cups, you have to be very mentally stable. Those who use cups will know. Otherwise, you can't put it back. And in that condition, when I'm seeing a toilet like that, where people can enter at any moment because the doors are all like broken. So at that condition, keeping myself cool and stable and putting my cup inside was a great task. I was literally crying कि भगवान मुझे यहाँ से निकालो किसी भी तरीके. So this is the condition of the main market in Kolkata. I came back that day. My clothes had stained badly somehow. I came back. But yes, this is the condition of institutions and schools in West Bengal.
Yes, Namrata, whatever you have shared your experiences and you did the baseline survey in the schools. You are talking about the incinerator and the vendor, so it's a normal thing. Incinerators are not working in any school, any workplace, any primary health centers in India. If you go, you will find a very few places where incinerators are working, and bender machine is available at certainly very few places. I'm not saying anywhere, even in Delhi. So, there lot of things needs to be done because there is a requirement of movement, how to aware people and not only the user, actually the policymaker and implementer, because the women need a different type of the privacy in the toilet, safety in the toilet, cleanliness in the toilet, availability of the soap and the running water in the toilet. That's very important. So what needs to be done, that's the important, because we know the problems, everybody is knowing. The situation in India, in the offices, in the schools, and even the workplaces. But how we will create the awareness at the top level, at the policy makers, to the government, that government should realize what a lady, a woman needs during the menstruation. So I would like to invite now Kamakshi Wason, because she is working as a Chief Operating Officer of Tillotoma Foundation. So please share your experiences. And yes, you can use that. Yeah, please.
A very good morning, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. It is my esteemed pleasure to be here at this Menstrual Health Management Summit, and I really want to thank the organizing team of Gramalaya for their efforts. This summit is on a very important subject, and this subject really needs to be discussed well. We all are here to discuss, to talk about the main cause, but it will not look nice if we'll not present or we'll not have the star of the show with us. So, here it is, a sanitary pad. Yes, it's a pad, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. I'll keep my pad right here, and I'll start with my address. I think it's a pride for all the women sitting out here and across the world. I think it's high time we start normalizing menstruation, and the menstrual hygiene management. We always feel embarrassed when it comes to talk about periods, pads, women hygiene, etc. But to be very honest, it's all normal. It's a natural process, and it makes women even more stronger. Just like those heavy menstrual days, the pain we go through, how divine God has made things that we experience. Somewhat the pain during, the same pain we experience during the periods, the menstruation, it's the same pain we face, or endure, or we go through. It's the same with the pregnancy time also. Also, I would like to say, it's like God always has made us stronger. And with this, we learn how to endure pain and stand out of it. Women are so much more than just a gender. And I think personally, I too have those days when I feel irritated, anxious, but I never let it affect my work. Being part of a global think tank, Tillotoma Foundation, I have to travel every single day. My everyday routines makes me even more stronger. And I feel the strongest even during those 5 days, 5 crucial days. I feel menstruation is more than just 5 days thing. We have seen since ancient times that how our divine goddesses, they used to showcase their powers, how divine they were, how graciously they used to present themselves. I'll ask you a question. Have you seen any goddess who's sitting like this, being scared? No, right? In today's time, whatever picture we have of any goddess, whether it's Parvati, Kali, Saraswati, Durga, all of these are like so dignified that by looking at the picture itself, you feel so much power. You feel that you have so much power within you, right? And talking about the more mythological aspect, we have this very famous Devi temple. I hope everybody has heard about it. It's Kamakshi temple. And how the temple itself is very divine and pure. It is considered very sacred and portrayed in a very dignified way. And lots of people on a daily basis travel to this temple. Along with this, we ourselves are worshipping these goddesses. And if they are portraying themselves, portraying all of this in a very dignified way, so why are we shying away from? Why are we making this whole menstruation thing look like a sin or something like that? It's all normal. We are here talking about it. I'm very grateful that we have platforms like MHM where we can discuss this openly. Along with this, we should be role models to our younger generation of girls so that they should not feel ashamed when they have to talk about this in public. Menstruation, instead, they should always talk about it confidently, and they should not feel like that we are alone, what is this happening with us? It's all normal, right? Now, we see, and I myself, when I talk to these young girls, because being a speaker, being an international speaker, I travel a lot, I see these, and this is not the problem in India, it's everywhere. In Bangladesh, in South Asian countries, Central Asian countries, every woman, they face the same thing. I think the major problem is that they feel stigmatized about it in public places, workplaces, schools, and even in the public, other like theaters, shopping malls, etc. So I think to expedite the impact, building infrastructure is a must. And keeping in mind the basic requirements for menstrual hygiene and sanitation, there is an utter need to introduce sanitary pad vending machines, clean drinking water facility, clean toilets to avoid urinary tract infections, and so on and so forth. Along with this, I also want to talk about how women need clean public toilets because of obviously biological reasons. As we all know, women cannot urinate like our male counterparts. So we especially need these clean toilets for them. But nowadays, of course, many companies have launched female urination devices and that allow women to urinate anywhere. But I think there is more need for toilets, clean toilets, so that they can, they can feel safe and they have the place to just look for themselves. But this is not a solution for the masses, because with time, things have to change. I can see an impact. I can see there is a change, because when I talk about this, my mother used to tell me during her time, and she was my age, she was 18 years old, she used to tell me that my grandmother, the people of those times used to shy away talking about menstruation. They used to be not that much open. My mother didn't have any idea what menstruation is. So when she had her first period, she was very much like, what happened with me? Did my nerve crack or something? So because it's all of a sudden, you don't know, right? But now when I grew up, my mother educated me. Everything she knew, she got to know through her experience. So I think with time, we are seeing the change, but there's a lot more which needs to be done. Along with this, there is a need for clean public washrooms for females with proper facilities. That should be ensured that it's everywhere. And with this, we should also work towards sanitation. I think toilet seat sanitation, antiseptic soaps, and hand washes to keep the germs at bay. With this, intimate wash. These things should also be highlighted more, and there should be infrastructures built where such products should be made more accessible, rural and urban areas both. Plus proper facilities to dispose sanitary napkins in public washrooms, like schools, colleges, shopping malls, movie theaters, etc., to avoid the blockage of waste. Because in a way, if that would happen, there would be crisis for the environment. There would be things which can harm the environment. So we have to keep in mind, we have to also take care of our environment as well. I personally am very well aware about the sanitary pads and tampons, and as I use them myself. But there should be awareness programs. So because I think there are still areas where women have no idea about tampons. The usage of tampons, pads, menstrual cups, panty liners, and other menstrual and sanitary products should be highlighted well, so that women are well aware about it. Education in this regard is very important. Plus, a relationship between periods and pregnancy should be explained well to younger girls. Because I think as some adolescent, might engage in any sexual activities without proper understanding, and this can also cause some, a very bad consequences for them. So I think there should be right education and approach which can help in reducing such situations. Along with this, I want to say that some know about this, but we should also engage in such awareness programs so that women, young girls, because the girls of today, the generation of today will be the generation of tomorrow. If they would have sufficient information, they can pass it on to the next generation, and then the circle will just go on. The cycle will just go on, right? So I think if we are here, we have so many dignified people sitting here, and I feel very privileged because I get to learn. I can share my views, but I can also learn from you. The first panel was fantastic. The panel I just heard, it was very amazing. I heard and I learned many new perspectives, right? That how we as women need to take care of ourselves, and how we always keep wealth above, but not health. Health should be your top priority. अगर आप ठीक ही नहीं होगे तो आप पैसे भी कैसे कमाओगे, right? How will you earn? How will you make a livelihood? If you are healthy, if you follow a healthy lifestyle, you can take care of your family. And I think with these infrastructures, many changes can happen, and also we can see a rapid growth in all these circumstances. Along with this, I think I also want to convey that there should be an awareness program in regard to sex education as well. Plus, some know about this, but we should, there are areas where people know about what sex education is, but we should also emphasize on providing it to rural areas as well, because I think they lack in this. Along with this, government and private institutions should build separate centers as a guide to young girls so that they can talk about menstruation at a certain age. Because we know what is ideal age when menstruation begins, right? So these institutions should build these centers so that they can start counseling these young girls. So they are well aware. When I was in school, I was very fortunate because during our age, there were these counseling sessions. There used to be a team of people coming to our schools, and they even gave us a pad, and I was like, what is this? And they even showed us a story how all of this begins. So I think such programs are very necessary. This is not happening everywhere. This needs to happen at least at the majority places. Along with this, I also want to say that one should always be like a friend to the younger generation, because if you will explain this in a friendly way, they'll understand. They'll not feel like that what you are telling them, this is like nonsense. No, this is very important for them, and they should actually understand the importance of it. Along with this, I also want to say with this, school staff should have some basic training and understanding so that they can guide the youngsters in right directions. And in workplaces also, women should be accepted with open hands, as they are equally contributing to the organization. If the organization benefits in any possible way, women also has its contribution. This is neither way like only men is contributing. Women are also doing their part. So I think they should be well rewarded for that. And I think I personally feel very grateful that I get to do my work every single day, and often during my menstruating days also. And to be very honest, this thing has never made me feel low. Instead, I have still found the energy to fight hard and fulfill my responsibilities. I think we as women are capable of so much. I am experiencing it now. I am seeing it now on a daily basis. Being it from a practical perspective, being it from a spiritual perspective, I feel change in dynamics, and like change in dynamics, I think on a daily basis, because during the time when I was also a kid, I didn't know much about this, but now hearing all these things out, I know that there is a lot of change happening. So I think with this, I want to urge the policymakers to facilitate these infrastructures and initiatives, and to implement more policies for the women, I think in favor of women, so that in the coming time we talk about it more openly and deeply. I feel we are all on the same path, and with our contributions, I think we can definitely make it reach millions. I think we have people sitting in N number here, but I think next time when I come here, I would want to see a hall fully packed so that there's no place going out, right? Because I think such conferences such talks should happen from time to time, and I think we as individuals should do so much. And talking about my organization myself, we at the Global Think Tank Tillotoma Foundation are very gender inclusive in all our activities. So I hope to see adequate change. I hope to see that the policymakers do something with the policy, because policies need to be implemented in favor of women, so that we can at least see some improvement, or maybe the path we are following, at least we are one step ahead. So with this, I just want to say that to every girl watching me out here, I just want to say that next time when I come here, maybe you can also come here, talk about this, because there's nothing to be ashamed of. We all are human, we are all are divine, and menstruation is a very pure and divine thing. Thank you so much.
So thank you, Kamakshi. I am bearing this this bracelet. What is the meaning of this bracelet? This 5 red days and 22 yellow days. So this is the menstruation cycle of a woman, and we are wearing very, very proudly in office, everywhere, and we are showing everyone this is the menstruation cycle. So don't be ashamed of anything, keeping pad and talking about the menstruation, because it's a pure. And the previous panel discussion, the medical doctors and very senior people were there, and they were mentioning how this is important to manage the girl. So 5 days, this is not the bad thing. This is the good thing, and you bear it, and tell everyone with a proud, yes, I'm menstruating. I'm menstruating, and what is the harm on this? This is the good for the health of the women. And because of, in this hall, those who are present here today, right now, why? Because my and yours mother has menstruated. Because of menstruation, we are here. I mean, the child cannot born. And she was mentioning about the Kamakshi Devi. Kamakshi Devi, I have been there. And there is a close to some June or July sometime, there is a days when they used to close the door of the temple because the priest of the temple used to announce that Mother Goddess Devi is menstruating. वो दिन आता है कभी जून जुलाई के आसपास. मैं एक बार गया था तो बोला प्रिस्ट ने कि you cannot enter in the temple because now this is the time of mother is menstruating. And literally I saw there is a red water coming out from the temple, or they used to put the white cloths and उसको रंगते हैं और फिर उसका cutting काटते हैं, और there is a huge crowd to collect that cloth, the used cloth of the Devi. So if we have the tradition in the Guwahati, in the India, with the goddess, and at other places we are thinking this is the impure, so how it possible? I mean this is the need to think about and do the awareness and educate the people. So Kamakshi, no need to ashamed of. It's a proud that we are menstruating, and really I want to ask one question to everyone before I will invite to Elangovan, because he is the sanitation man. So before coming to him about the infrastructure, I would ask one question, especially with the female, those who are present here. Can anyone menstruating today? Yes, thank you very much. Give a big hand to her. This we need. When a woman enter in a convention center or any place and tell to the managers, to the organizer that look, I need a rest because today I am menstruating. So that's day we are seeing for that day. So I will invite now Elangovan for his presentation. He is the sanitation man and he knows more about the infrastructure. Please. Please, sir.
Okay, sir. Very good morning. So WASH, MHM, interrelated and integrated one. So what's Gramalaya's initiatives we'll see Gramalaya's WASH, MHM interrelated ones quickly. Next. 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 So these are the innovations done by Gramalaya in the urban sanitation. First, India's first open defecation free slum, which is called villages, slums, Tandavambatti, Kalmandi, has been declared as open defecation free. So from that beginning of 2000, now still Gramalaya working WASH, then it interrelated MHM and nutrition. So another innovation is CFT, that is child-friendly toilets incorporated in the already existing community toilets. Normally community toilets will have only men toilet and women toilets. So Gramalaya invented this CFT, that is child-friendly toilet, to be added inside the toilets. And incinerator facilities, lot of the community toilets and public toilets, there is no that incinerator facilities, even school toilets. So that was some toilets only that electric incinerator was there. So that was not working like Mishra has told correctly. So it is only for namesake, but it is not functioning. So the manual incinerator that is most useful and maintainable and affordable by the community members that we invented. And smart toilets for IHLs, individual household latrines. That is, smart toilet, it is nothing but a bath attached toilet with the incinerator facilities. Up to 2015 we did it. After that we removed that incinerator facilities since we promoted that reusable cloth pad in the villages. So that is retrofitting of IHLs. So most of the toilets constructed, it is not under usable condition due to technical mistakes, and also that households did not their ownership in constructing toilets. There is, instead of twin leach pit, there was only a single pit was there. So in order to avoid, to ensure consistent and concurrent usage by the community members, we promoted that that is retrofitting of toilets that happened now recently with the support of that is NSC Foundation and the CSR program. So our all models are replicable and scalable models. Next. So this is the 5 pillars where Gramalaya working, ensuring safe water, sanitation facilities for all individuals, schools, community public toilets, and hand washing with the soaps and MHM and nutrition. Next. So this is a Gramalaya Training Center. All are welcome. That is which is located in Tiruchirappalli district of Tamil Nadu, Kolakudipatti village. So where nearly 24 different model toilets are there. So from dry toilets, ecological sanitations, and small toilets, different model toilets are available. Next. So this is the current situations before intervention of Gramalaya in the urban area, which is practical, real pictures taken in the community toilets, where the toilet is not under usable condition, is abandoned toilet, where the used napkins and soiled napkins and plastics are kept everywhere. Next. So see that these are public toilets. There is no incinerator facilities. So used napkins are kept in the the windows or the partition walls. So that was the situations in the year of 2015. Next. So we took that, already there was a community toilets which was constructed by the Tiruchirappalli city corporations. So we could not construct new toilets. Instead, we took as a retrofitting of toilets with the incinerator facilities. So you see that before. You see that before toilets, before retrofitting, that after renovation. Next. Next. So some of this, there is no pen. Some of the renovated, which is not newly constructed. So it's a damaged toilet made as a usable toilets. Next 20 years, they no need to maintain it. So since we have strong CBOs in the area, community-based organization, which is called SHE Team, Wave Federation. SHE Team, nothing but Sanitation Hygiene Education Team. Wave Federation, Women's Action for Village Empowerment. So these teams consistently maintaining for the past 22 years by, that is, pay and use system. That is the income from the community toilets. They are maintaining the toilets. So the burden of Tiruchirappalli city corporations considerably reduced here. Next. So see that model, our model. It's a simple, the incinerator facilities are there. So the women and adolescent girls, menstruating women, they can easily, simply dispose the used napkins through the incinerator facilities, and they can burn it outside. Next. That is the renovated toilets. Next. See that our health educators educating that local SHE Team members how to dispose safely. Next. So there is yesterday Preeti ma'am told that is the COVID kit consisting of these materials. So normally kit materials which was only for sanitizer, mask, it was there only. So Gramalaya did that. This is the most important to ensure that this environmental friendly model. So we used all these sanitary napkins in the personal hygiene kits. Next. So these are the Wave Federation back pillars of urban sanitation project. So for the past 23 years, they are maintaining 186 community toilets in the manner of environmental protections for the benefit of the slum dwellers of Tiruchirappalli City Corporation. Next. So this toilet, normally will have a toilet for the, I will complete. The toilets will be only for school students. Here, we consider that most of the school teachers does not have toilets. So even male teacher and female teacher go outside for urination. So that was the situation. So we thought that, constructing school toilet for children, we also provided facility for the school teachers. So that is also most important. So hand washing provision will be there. So there will be safety provision and water provisions and automatic cleaning facility. So all facilities are there. Nearly 750 school toilets, such as school toilets have been constructed with the support of corporates under their CSR activities. Next. So see that inside that toilets, urinals and toilets likewise. Next. So this is a toilet supported by CSR, HDB, Housing Development Bank, financials. The toilets will be, ventilation will be there, incinerator facility there will be, automatic soap stand, everything will be there. It is like airport toilets it will be like. Next. So sustainability, so all things are maintained with the community-based organization, like for ensuring ownership and maintenance. Gramalaya forms different committee. That's Awash committee is a committee which is having a 20 members, men 10 members and women. So normally committee will be have only female committee. So Gramalaya 32 is a ownership of both men and women. So normally when we take fetching a water from house, normally women will take. Why can't you take? But you will also drink a water. So it is also your responsibility. So wherever Gramalaya forms a committee, we involve, that is called Awash committee, and She and Way for urban sanitation, and Washman volunteers for the rural area. So these are the situations. Now it has, this picture is taken to last week. So this is taken from in Pudukkottai district, of one of the very backward district of Tamil Nadu, which is maybe an aspirational district, but it is not under aspirational district. So where we constructed toilets, that is smart toilets, with the concept of. Likewise, in every district, around 50,000 toilets are needed. But we declared as a open defecation, there is no incinerator facility, no MHM education, no sanitation. So these situations, like Vinod Mishra has told, likewise, policy makers should come forward. So likewise, around 39,000 schools are there. Nearly 70% of the schools does not have a toilet facilities with the MHM facilities. That's the situation. Next. So these are our model toilets with is a zero waste toilet. The wastewater goes and it takes as a nutritional. Kitchen garden is promoted. So the leverage of funds is also happening. Environmental is also protected. So there is no maintenance charge by the community members. Next. So these are the toilets constructed in Hyderabad, supported by VSC Industries in Telangana states by Gramalaya. Next. So that household level. So before introducing reusable cloth bed, we introduced this model for individual households. After usage introductions, we did only that toilet model only. Next. See, that is a retrofitting of individual toilets. There is no roof, there is no door, so nothing was there. So after intervention, Gramalaya did this, user-friendly model toilets with aged people. We promoted that that is Western model toilets. Likewise, we did it. So twin leach fit model toilets, but simple. Support with the people contributions. See that ladies, she's living in a hut. She has to cross the road for defecation. So that was the situation. Now that the entire area has been changed. Likewise, it was taken in Ramanathapuram, one of the where the our ex-president, President of India, APJ Abdul Kalam arrived there. So this is a situation in Ramanathapuram. Next. See that entire village has been declared as a role model villages where 100% of women and men are having toilet facilities, and adolescent girls are using reusable cloth pad. Next. Next. So these are the Washman volunteers. Wherever we work, we implement the through committees we implement the project to sustain the project, deliverables and achievements in the rural area. Next. Next. So due to the retrofitting project successfully, so Gramalaya applied for the FICCI award. So this year we got retrofitting, nobody thinks of it. Already declared ODF. Why can't you come likewise? So we got this FICCI award this year. So Gramalaya best non-profit engagement model in the rural area. Next, 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 next. Introduction of reusable cloth pad. Next. So this is a world innovative concept, WTC, Harpic World Toilet College. So normally we know college for science and college for arts, but sanitation workers who involved in that, they are considered as a demeaning job. So in order to ensure their dignity, in order to have a placement, so we introduced with the support of RECID, so that Harpic World Toilet College, so that nearly 10,000 sanitation workers in 6 cities of southern cities of sanitation workers have been trained on this sector. So these are the training program happened for sanitation workers by Gramalaya. So our founder Badmasi Damaran sir and Preeti ma'am introducing the reusable cloth pad to the health educators who will in turn educate the women. So these are the PMT members of committee. These are the staff team. There's a third MHM summit participants. Thanks for the opportunity, sir. Thanks.
So thank you very much, Elangovan ji, and it's excellent good practice and about the best practices what Gramalaya has done in their area. So excellent. Thank you very much for sharing these examples and the work has been done by the Gramalaya with the audience, and hopefully this will give insight and maybe some motivation to the audience for making such type things in northern India also, because this is in the Gramalaya in the South India. So hopefully in northern India also we need more Gramalayas to carry forward this movement. Thank you very much. So thanks Namrata, thanks Kamakshi, and thanks Elangovan for participating. Thank you.
Thank you so much. On this note, we would like to end this breakaway session. Thank you so much to all the panelists as well as the panel head. I would now request Team Gramalaya to please join me on the stage to felicitate our panel members as well as the panel head. That is incredibly said by our panel head that we need more Gramalayas in the entire country, not just in South India or North India, but the entire country. So we have the UNOPS material at the registration desk, and this is how it looks like. Please collect it from the registration desk. This is by UNOPS. And I would now request Team Gramalaya to please honor our panel head, Mr. Vinod Mishra. I would now request Mrs. Namrata Karamchandani to please step forward for the felicitation. I'd request Mr. Himadrish Suvan to please felicitate our next speaker, Ms. Kamakshi Wason. And last but not the least, I would request Mr. M. Elangovan to please step forward for the felicitation. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, I would request all of you, and I would remind all of you to collect your participation certificates that are on the registration desk. Please do not forget to collect them. And we have the MHH material. This is how it looks like from UNOPS. It is on the registration desk. Please collect that. And we now here break for tea for next 10 minutes, and we will join back on the other side of the tea break in after next 10 minutes for the next breakaway session.